So it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since we had the I'm Just Saying segment.
Right.
It's maybe a little sad because I actually really like this segment.
Right.
It's my favorite segment that we've come up with.
Okay.
The I'm Just Saying, where we get a little more raw. We really haven't had anything to talk about the past couple weeks, but from what I understand, you got something to say this week. I got something to say, so what you got for me, man?
Well, we're kind of both going in the NBA direction. I know we talked a little bit of NBA. We kind of want to get 2 cents here in the NBA. I want to kind of talk about. I'm a huge Philadelphia sports fan. I want to talk about the 76ers quick. I feel like the NBA shoved Jerry Colangelo into the Sixers organization as the operations of basketball director or whatever. They made the Sixers push the old one out and bring him in. I felt like they just made him basically as a babysitter or a spy or whatever you want to call it, that they make sure that they go through the plan. And it's up. Forbes reported last week that the Sixers owners are talking about selling the team. And to me it sounds like this is the NBA just pushing them out. The evidence I would say that I would bring to the table of them, the NBA trying to push the Sixers out, is ever since the Sixers have made this plan, this tanking plan clear, which I do, as much as I'm right now all in on them moving forward and hopefully rebuilding with the talent they have, I do want to get it out there. I was on everyone else's side and upset when they started this process. I was not a fan of it. I understood how long it was going to take. My life is short, and I want to see them succeed in my lifetime. And they basically admitted that 4 or 5 years are going to be wasted. And if these guys sat down and made this fantastic plan, great, but the NBA is basically shoving them out. My evidence would be to all of this is that you look at the draft lottery. Ever since the Sixers started this, the ball stopped being picked on TV. It's now been the cards are just handed out, and you have this pick.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a little shady, and it's because no offense,
it had nothing to do with Philadelphia.
I just want to point this out.
From my perspective, it had nothing to do with Philadelphia. Honestly, I thought that's just weird.
I just want to point this out. A couple years ago, when LeBron was Miami going, and then when he went to Cleveland that year that they got the first overall pick, they only had a 99%. They had it was 99% chance that they would get. There was no shot. It was not there was a 1% chance that that Cleveland would get the first overall pick in that draft, and they got it. And the Bulls were selected on TV that year. And that was the first year they weren't selected on TV. They got the first overall pick the year before too, if I'm not mistaken. And that's how, or the year before that's how they got Kyrie.
I honestly don't remember the exact numbers.
But they got 2 first overall picks in a 4-year span. Anyways, my point is they had a 1% chance of getting it. The first year wasn't. The Bulls weren't picked on TV, and they got it. And the Sixers every time the Sixers had a top. I think it was a top 5 projected pick. From the Lakers this year, and the Lakers were either got the number 5 pick or the number 4 pick, right? Not on TV. They had the number, and there was I think it was like a 40% chance that the Lakers would be in the top 5. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the Heat, the Sixers had a top 10 protected pick from the Heat, and the Heat got 9th in the draft, which was, I think, under a 30% chance for them to get that. What I'm saying is these things aren't selected on TV, and my point is, I look at the numbers and it's a little shady, and the way things are going in the Sixers organization right now, they just signed Brett Brown to a 2-year contract, which I like because, you know what, if he's fully in on this plan, at least somebody else is, and I want to move forward.
He's probably the only one.
We had a really in-depth conversation about this earlier. We
should probably get this on camera.
What I want to say is, they need to make progress. They tried to make a small step forward last year. You need to make a bigger step forward this year, a bigger step forward the year after that, and a huge step the year after that.
So what you're saying is that this off season is the time to start signing.
What
you got to sign somebody. The NBA's. This is the counter argument.
You're not going to be able to go after a superstar at the moment because you're not going to get a guy in his prime to go to Philadelphia right now.
The counter argument is that we're not saying get a LeBron caliber or Kevin Durant,
but the money opens up, and the Sixers have the most money right now.
So if you at least don't attempt, because there's been no reports the past couple of years that the Sixers have gone for a high market. If you don't at least make that attempt, then it kind of looks iffy for the Sixers organization.
But yes or no?
But as long as you make that attempt, then it's like, okay, well, at least they tried. They didn't get it, but they tried. It's kind of like what the Lakers are doing.
The Sixers
they at least try to get LaMarcus Aldridge. They didn't get him, but they tried.
The Sixers got lucky with the way the salary cap.
More money.
The Sixers got lucky with the way the salary cap opened up, and it's going to open up in the next 3 years because when they started this plan, that wasn't in order. So this kind of ended up in their wheelhouse when they're going to have 5, 6, 7 guys that they drafted in the top 10 picks in 4 years.
As long as they keep them,
and they're going to have a lot of money, and they're still going to be able to go out and reach for other people. So what I'm saying is,
as long as they keep them.
they got to win like 30 games next year. I know this year they're not even probably going to win 20 the way it looks, and that's so unfortunate. No. But they got to win 30 games next year. They have to improve. They're going to have Starshik from overseas. He's going to come over. They're going to have maybe Embiid back. I don't know that situation. But if they do, that's 4 guys with Noel and Okafor who were picked in the top 5 on the court at one time. And then you can go after, and I know it's a stretch, but a guy like, you always knock me for talking about point guards, a guy, because they traded.
Yeah, and that was absolutely. You traded MCW, which it made absolutely zero sense because that was the biggest.
What I always say.
From what I've heard from all you Sixers fans, that MCW, yo, he's a future. Then you got rid of him, and it was like, oh well, we don't need him.
But what do I always say? Point guards are the most expendable position in that sport.
That's what you say.
But hold on. You can go after a guy like Dame Lillard, who might not be happy in Portland in a year or two, and look at the way the Sixers are trying to build their roster. If they can grab another decent guard, if they got all these forwards, everything kind of rounds into shape for them. Dame Lillard might be, listen, they win 30, 35 games. He looks at it, he's like, wait, we can win maybe 10, 15, 20 more games. 20 more than 35, 55, you're making it in the East.
I'm hearing
55 wins, you're making it in the East.
I'm hearing a whole lot of...
I'm not saying it's a perfect plan. I'm not saying that's a perfect plan. I'm just saying...
No, it's not at all.
I'm just saying...
The kind of argument to that is Damian Lillard, he went from our legitimate playoff contention team to now he has signed long-term with Portland.
But look at how good he did with one big man. What can he do with 4 big men?
Well, first of all...
That's a joke because they have way too many big men. They're going to end up trading some of these guys for talent as well. And what if you get some superstars back in trades?
Okay, time out. First of all, Damian Lillard has just signed a long-term deal, so you wouldn't get him anyway. You would probably have to trade for him.
Would you mind?
1. 2, why would he go from a team that's to a team that's even less
I want to make an example. Look at what Miami's going to have to do with Whitehead, right? They're going to have to get rid of him because he's on his rookie contract. They say they're not going to want to pay him. You're going to have Noel, you're going to have Okafor, you're going to have,
That's just dumb.
Right, but the Sixers are going to probably have to do that with 2 of these 4 guys that they have, right?
So
what if you can get something really, really good back? And I don't want them to trade Noel or Okafor, but my point is, what if you can get something really, really, really good back in return? Who you're forcing a superstar like a Whitehead or, I don't know, a trendsetting, you know what I mean?
So what would you say is the perfect scenario as a Sixers fan? Do you go with the fact that you hope and bank on the fact that you can get these 3 or 4 players, whatever it is, to re-sign, or do you keep keep 1 or 2,
no,
and then hope to sign? Either way, it's hope. But do you then hope to sign?
Here's what I think:
a free agent that would want to come to
If you're asking
that you would want to come to Philadelphia, which you haven't been able to get a free agent in their prime since I don't even know when.
They haven't. But if you're asking me, the steps, I would say you're going to have to keep 2 or 3 of these guys. You're going to have to trade 2 or 3 of these guys. And in 2 or 3 of these guys getting traded, you're going to have to get a legitimate superstar in return for some of these guys. Hold on, and you're going to have to reach in a free agent. You're going to have to do a little bit of everything. You have to re-sign a couple of these guys. You have to trade a couple of these guys. You're going to have to pull guys into free agency. And if you do that, calculated all in the right system and all in the right way, you just might strike lightning. But listen, if you don't, it's the worst rainstorm you've ever had, yes?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
it's such a mess.
But back to my original point I'm just saying, I don't think it's fair to push out the Sixers owner because as much as I don't like the Sixers owner and I didn't like the Sixers owner's plans, because the 2 guys came in here, decided to rip the whole team apart, who was a team that was 1 game away from the Eastern Conference Finals, and while I don't think they would have beat that LeBron team in Miami, nor do I think they would even right now still even be competing with those teams, and they would still be a top team in the East, but really, would they be a top team in the East? Because you're going to lose to LeBron every year. While I understand why they did it, while I understand why
they are now.
While I understand why they did it, they think that in the future that once he's out of his prime, they have a shot. Listen, again, back to this. I wasn't a fan of the original plan, but I'm in the situation and now I have to hope that it works.
No, you don't have to. Right now, you're on your own show. You don't have to say, yeah, I accept it. I hope that it works. Do you or do you not agree with what happened? That's the bottom line.
When they started,
no. Do you or do you stop being this Philly fan and be right? Do you or do you not agree? Stop being, well, it is what it is, so I better accept it. You sound like such a Philly fan right now. Stop being a Philly fan for 30 seconds to say, do you or do you not think this is going to work? Yes or no?
Oh, I think this is going to work now that they're just deep into it. I definitely think it's going to work.
Because that's your fandom. You're such a Philly fan.
Oh, I definitely think it's going to work. Now, I think there's a lot of, I think there's 4 legitimate superstar talent. I don't know if there's superstars. I think there's 4 legitimate superstar talent on the team.
Oh, God. Okay. I guess the other question is, who's going to come to Philadelphia?
Again, that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to probably trade for some people, and then once they trade for some people, from 2 of these other guys or 3 of these other guys, then you can lure some other guys into it. I'm not saying I have the names of the formula, and I'm not even saying it's perfect because, as I said, when it first started, I was so against it. But here we are. Here it is, and there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of different routes they can go. I just hope they go the right route. I don't know what that is, though.
I try to get some... I try to get you to put your fandom on the side. I gave you the floor to, but you just don't bite. You're such a Sixers fan.
Well, speaking of being such a fan, who do you dislike so much? You're such a hater.
It's not. I'm a hater.
You are.
You're a hater. Oh.
But I don't really necessarily.
I'm a hater,
like this gentleman either.
You don't like him either, but I was completely against him, even though everybody and their mom said, you should be happy. He's so good. So this week, I'm just saying because I love him so much. Good old Dwight Howard,
Superman.
Superman? You talking about Shaq? Are we talking about the Hall of Fame Shaq? What are we talking about?
The fake Superman.
Yeah. We talking about Clark Kent? Is that who we're talking about right now?
Not even.
Not even. Because Dwight Howard hasn't been Dwight Howard since Orlando. He damn sure was a Dwight Howard in LA. He hasn't showed up in Houston.
He's had his moments in Houston.
Stop. You sound like a Philly fan right now, defending dumb shit, because Dwight Howard hasn't been anything since he's left Orlando.
He went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and he was a big part of that. He was a big part. That's tough. The West is the West not a difficult conference?
James Harden was a lot more than Dwight Howard was last year.
I'm not saying Dwight Howard was a superstar. I'm just saying that he added to it. Listen, I completely
Dwight Howard was a bum last year. He's even more of a bum this year.
Right.
I'm just saying this week is that the news has come out that Dwight Howard isn't happy. Oh, newsflash! Dwight Howard isn't happy. He's never been happy. He's such a bum. I don't like him.
Play overseas.
So the reports have come out this week that he's not happy. Of course, he's denying them because that's what he does. He denies, no, I'm not. The same thing he did in LA, where he was like, oh, no, I am happy here. I love LA. But then it turned out, no, he's really not happy, and he's a bum, and he left, and he fucked us, which we haven't got this on camera. But what did I say when there was as soon as the talk started that the Lakers were gonna get Dwight Howard? What did I say? I said I didn't want him.
You didn't want him at all.
Why? Because I felt Andrew Bynum. He had the best year of his career. He was an absolute beast, and he had that mindset, and he wanted to be a Laker. Dwight Howard. It wasn't any of that. He didn't have that mindset. 1, 2, he didn't want to be a Laker. 3, he's a punk. That's all there is to it. He's of this new generation.
You asked who the last big name free agent to go to the Sixers were, and then you just named him.
Yeah, Andrew Bynum. And how'd that work out for y'all? How'd it work out for us? Right. Yeah. How'd it work out for us that we got rid of him for Dwight Howard? And how'd it work out for y'all that Andrew Bynum is now sitting somewhere with his perm out? My thing with Dwight Howard, you know why I'm just saying this week, is that even now, in these reports coming this week that he's not healthy, and they're talking about, oh, should we trade him to Miami? Would the Miami Heat take him? Of course Pat Riley would take him. Is he even worth the investment at this point? He hasn't been anything since he's been in Orlando. He didn't do jack in LA. He did a little bit in Houston, not that much.
Do they trade him, and do they get a lot for him?
Should Houston trade for him at this point? Absolutely.
But
why
do
not?
They get a lot for him?
No, and nor should they.
Do you think he gets a max
got
contract this year, though?
Do you think
he gets max contract this year?
No, not at all. He doesn't get... No. Dwight Howard, the thing with him, he's not a key piece. He's not even a second piece. He's a third piece.
You were about to bring up Stan Van Gundy.
Stan Van Gundy got fired because of Dwight Howard.
But look at what he's doing in Detroit. Not too bad.
Congratulations, and I'm happy for him because of that.
But no, that's what I'm saying. It was a wrong move. They went with what Dwight Howard was saying and it ended up being wrong.
And then stupid LA and Jimbo Buss said, come on over, and that didn't work out because he didn't want that pressure. Right. And then he went to Houston. He got Kevin McHale fired after getting to the Western Conference Finals, as you brought up. How do you go from the Western Conference Finals to getting fired?
It's a players' league.
Dwight Howard is shooting 8 shots a game.
Harden's probably involved in that.
8 shots a game.
I understand that.
James Harden, I think he's averaging like 22
no,
shots
I
a game.
meant Mikal getting fired.
With Dwight Howard,
Yeah.
you're saying he's the reason?
No, him and Harden.
That's part of it, but I more so think that it's because of Dwight Howard and the money that they put forth. But he's not producing. So I'm just saying this week is that can we just finally accept as a society that Dwight Howard isn't Shaq? We wanted so well. There ain't no we because I'm not part of that. Society wanted so badly for Dwight Howard to be Shaq because he's so built and he's such Superman because he's a tank. But he's not Shaq. He's not of that mindset. Can we just finally accept, please, I'm begging y'all, can we just accept that he's not that kind of player? He's like DeAndre Jordan, okay, who can be a star in a system and he could back up some players, but he's not about being the man averaging 34 and 20. Well, he can average 20 and 10.
He should be, and that's the issue. That's why you get so fired up about it.
I'm tired of hearing about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is coaching him up and Kevin McHale's coaching him up.
Yeah.
Can we stop saying he's going to be the next big thing? He's not. He is what he is. Can we just accept that? Because I accepted that 3 years ago.
Right.
But even today, I keep hearing, well, Dwight Howard could still be this guy. No, he's not. He's not even the. He might be top 3 center. He's not. He's definitely not number 1 or number 2. Yep. DeMarcus Cousins is number 1 center in the league, according to a lot of people. But he's not. He's not top 2. Right. I won't give that to him. No. Can we just get off this high with him? I'm just saying. I don't understand this hype with him. He's not going to get max contract money. Yeah. Which is why he might end up in Miami because Pat Riley's that type of dude to say, you know what, you can hang out with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade on the way out. Yeah. From his perspective, it might work out, but from everybody else's perspective,
I'd like to see Whitehead in Houston, but there's so much going on. There's so much that has to happen. We'll see.
Dwight Howard,
it's gonna be interesting moving forward.
Dwight Howard, you're a bum. I'm just saying, Dwight Howard, you're a bum. I don't like you. I never will like you. You haven't lived up to your potential.
You sound like a Philly fan. I like it.
I'm sounding like a person that hates Dwight Howard or feel like he's been overhyped. You got Defensive Player of the Year. You got your little dunk contest. You wore your stupid fucking cape. Congratulations.
Disintegrated.
And then you got your money, and what have you done for me lately? Well, absolutely nothing. You bum.
Well, that's all I'm just saying. Thank you for watching that with JD Sports. I'm Jarrett Hood. That's Dwight Garfield.